Hello everybody and welcome to another video. And today I'm going to be looking at a band called Origin. Now, I haven't heard of this band before, so obviously had to do myself a little bit of research. It says Origin is an American technical death metal band from Topeka, Kansas, founded in 1997, so it surprises me that I've not heard of them. It's possible I may have heard of them, I just might not have heard any of their music, I'm not sure. Anyway. They have been recognised by music critics and metal fans alike for combining a harsh sound with a high level of technical skill. Origin is most characterised by almost exclusive use of several specific, difficult playing techniques, blast beats on the drum kit, multiple death-growled vocals, and arpeggios and sweeping picking on both guitars and the bass guitar. Their songs often have uneven and shifting time signatures. Sounds like this could be quite interesting. The band themselves have actually toured with the likes of Suffocation, Nile, Cryptopsy, Gorguts, and Oppressor. So, you know, they've had a pretty decent round when it comes to touring as well. So, you know, it does surprise me that I've not heard of them before. But anyway, the track we're going to look at today is called Accident and Error. No idea what that could possibly be about, but I've got the lyrics up here, and I'm very curious to see where this goes. So, I think we'll just get straight to it, don't you? Accident and Error by Origin. Have a look. Right, that's a lot to take in. Didn't waste any time getting into the track. I mean, boom, straight in there. They kind of remind me of a, and this is going to sound like a very strange thing to say given the style of it, they sound like a slower version of the Berserker. And I know that sounds insane because this is a very fast, very technical band, but they sound, you know, if you ever heard the Berserker, like a track like Reality, for example, or something along those lines, it's a bit faster than this. Not by much, I will grant you that. But, yeah. So, quite interesting so far. Again, as I've said many times before, mixing up vocal styles, which is something that I really enjoy. The song itself, despite how it sounds, it almost sounds like they're talking about Jesus. I could be way wrong, but that's what it sounds like. Now, there's a lot of lyrics to get through because, Jesus Christ, he rushed through them. I actually lost my place at one point. Now, there's two different sets of lyrics being sung side by side at the beginning. It says, exiled in absentia, left 2, overwhelmed, undermined, rot in, carrion call to war, the sun, sigil of hell, blistering soil. Now, if you read that as two separate things, it says, exiled in absentia, overwhelmed, undermined, carrion call to war, sigil of hell, blistering soil. But then you read the other one, it says, left to rot in the sun. Which, could pretty much describe, being on the cross. And then it carried on. Crucified for ordeals, or less, just like before, benevolent blasphemy usurped, Lord of the realm. Crucified for ideals almost screams that it's about that sort of thing. Possibly Jesus, as I said before. Feeding the one sycophant, to the rest, gouging I can never pronounce this one. Hierarchical prose from our history, taming a land by the knife. A hawk among lesser birds, plans within plans to advance, dynamic principles, persistent false consequence, world that is about to fall. I am a shepherd of worms yet to come. The keep of an ever-vacant throne we cannot win. Untrodden paths we bite the hand that feeds us. With no control and no command we bow our heads in failure. Prophetic spectacles that lead us on journeys of introspection. Who are we? Slaves to the process with no control. And they repeat that last line twice. We cannot win. Untrodden paths we bite the hand that feeds us. With no control and no command we bow our heads in failure. So, like I said, it sounds like it could be talking about Jesus, but I'm not sure. I mean, there's a lot to suggest that it could be. There's the line there, a hawk among lesser birds, so, that's like a proud, majestic creature amongst sort of, lesser birds, smaller, less consequential birds than the hawk. And it also says, I am the shepherd of worms yet to come, so, he was, the keeper of a lower class, as it were. So he was the shepherd to the sheep, essentially. And then it says, we bite the hand that feeds us with no control and no command. We bow our heads in failure. So we bite the hand that feeds us because this guy apparently came to Earth to help mankind. He came to, do good, make our lives better, yet we turned round and basically exiled him, called him every name under the sun, said he was crazy, he was bad, he was evil, and then essentially killed him. There's a lot to suggest that that's what it's talking about, but I cannot be absolutely sure. Let's carry on. Well, there we go. That was Accident and Error by Origin. Absolutely mental piece of music. I mean, the pure skill and speed that they were playing at it's unreal. But at the same time, it's enjoyable in small quantities for me. You know, it's not something I could like listen to constantly and endlessly. You know, because after a while, it just becomes a cacophony of noise. You know, there's not really much structure or melody to it. And it's all sort of merges into one. I mean, I like the Berserker. I have their albums, and they're a band where I can listen to one album. I can't listen to one of their albums, then another one, and then another one, because it just does my head in after a while, because it's just so much going on. It's yeah. Anyway, the song carried on. We cannot win. Untrodden paths. We bite the hand that feeds us. With no control and no command, we bow our heads in failure. Determinate plans, fed for centuries, cultivating to wrest the power of global demand from indifferent mechanisms. Random phone going off. Regardless of our intervention, the elements revolt and wipe away every shred of humanity just to replace and repopulate, and once again the wheel continues to spin. In the deep chasmatic void of the mind, there exists a pervasive need. Why can I not say that? There exists a pervasive need to impart a logical word, but in the world in which our consciousness must behold and beyond is an endless expanse beyond a logical core. A last thought in passing, what holds sway to nature as his planet killed him was accident and error. There you go. So, you know, like I said, to me it just sounds like they're talking about Jesus, you know, and you know what we did to him because of our own shallow minds. You know, we didn't want to accept that this person was better than us. We didn't want to accept the fact that he was the Son of God, allegedly. You know, and you know, it's just saying, you know, we basically destroyed our best chance at having a good life, at living in a good world, out of our pure selfish need. There was a couple of lines in there that I actually quite liked. The elements revolt and wipe away every shred of humanity just to replace and repopulate, and once again the wheel continues to spin. That's like talking about extinction events. You know, like the first time it didn't work, you know, there was a big natural disaster, wiped out all life on the planet, and then another life began. And as that went on, turned out that one didn't work, big extinction event again, and, you know, so on. And that's pretty much what that's talking about. So it's like, and we carry on the way we're going, there's going to be another extinction event, we're going to be wiped off the planet, and something else is going to take our place. So, yeah, it's an interesting meaning for that kind of music, I will say that much. Like I said, I mean, you've got to admire the sheer skill of these musicians. I mean, that bassist alone, you know, it was insane. And that drummer must be absolutely bloody knackered if he plays live. Crying out loud, I mean, the speed he was hitting those drums, it was unreal. But, like I said, it's not something I can listen to too much of, because after a while it just becomes a wall of noise, you know, because there isn't that much melody to the music. But, you know, not bad. Like, something I would listen to on occasion, but not something I would go out of my way to listen to regularly. So yeah, very heavy one for this channel. I'll leave that as it is, because I can't think of much else to say about it. Yeah. If anybody would like to suggest a track for me to react to, then please do so by all means. You can drop a comment in the comment section below, or message me on my Facebook or my Instagram, or you can even message me on my Patreon, where you could also help to support me, to help me create future content for this channel, maybe even improve the quality of the content that I make. Because obviously with all these videos having copyrighted music in them, I can't actually monetize them on YouTube, so I don't actually get any profit from the videos I make, so you know, it'd be helpful. But obviously I'm not going to sit here and beg you. Do know though, if you do make a suggestion, it might take me a while to get around to it, since, you know, I get suggested so many tracks every single day. You know, for every video I make, I get suggested another 12. But I do write down every suggestion I get, so it will get done eventually. It'll just might take me a while to get around to it. Also, MetalHead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, a British-based charity whose main goal is to put an end to hate crimes, mostly those concerning people of the alternative culture. Obviously they want to put an end to all hate crimes, but the crimes against alternative culture is what essentially brought the foundation into being. And it's something that I strongly believe in, something I think really, really needs more attention bringing forward. Because, you know, every day all over the world, people who listen to alternative music or wear alternative fashion are getting violently attacked, you know, violently beaten, sometimes even hospitalized, just purely for the music that they listen to. And, you know, it's a ridiculous thing to think. You know, if you say it out loud to yourself, this person was beaten up because they like different music, it sounds ridiculous, you know. Why would you attack someone because they like different music? It doesn't make sense. You know, you don't attack someone because they like different TV shows or movies to you. You don't attack someone because they like different flavour crisps or ice cream to you. So why would you attack someone because they like different music? It makes no sense. But it's happening all the time, every single day, all over the world. And like I said, people are getting severely hurt, you know, hospitalised. And when it comes to the point where a young woman, Sophie Lancaster, gets violently attacked and dies from her injuries, things have gone way beyond ridiculous. You know, no one should lose their life because they like heavy metal. You know, no one should lose their life because they have a different opinion. You know, if you don't like the music someone's listening to, you don't listen to it. It's really simple. If you don't like the clothes that someone's wearing, you don't look at them. It is not an excuse to violently attack someone to the point where you beat them to death. It's unacceptable that this is happening, but it does. You know, I've been through it for years. You know, ever since I was in secondary school or high school. You know, I've been verbally and physically attacked because of the way I dress and the music I listen to. Many of my friends have been through the same thing, and I'm sure some of you out there have too. It's ridiculous that it's happening because there's no reason or logic behind it, because it doesn't gain anybody anything, you know, and attacking someone because of their taste in music doesn't gain you anything, you know. It's not like they're going to suddenly go, oh, do you know what, I actually like hip-hop and R&B. It's not going to happen, you know. There's no point behind it, but it's happening. And, you know, when people are getting that severely injured, something needs to be done. It needs to stop. And this is what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation is all about. They don't want to see another family go through what they went through when their daughter was beaten to death. You know, nobody should lose their life over music. It's silly. There's no need for it. So if you'd like to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description down below. You can go over there, find out what they're working on at the moment, find out what their goal is, because they can explain it better than I can. And if you can help them out in any way, even something as simple as one of these Sophie bracelets, which are like £1 on their store, they've got a whole bunch of other awesome merchandise on there as well. But if you can help them out in any small way, that would be amazing, because the smallest amount can make the biggest difference. And the sooner we bring more attention to this, the sooner we can stamp out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. But I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.